What's up, investors? It's Mike from MJF Invest. Today's video is going to be about Pure Storage, ticker symbol PSTG. In the video, I'm going to cover what big data is. I think you really got to understand that to understand the value of this company. I'm going to discuss the difference between cloud-based and on-premise software applications, and how Pure Storage also ties into that, and the customer base, the broad range of customers and the variety of industries that Pure Storage brings value to. I'm also going to go over, they just did a virtual conference yesterday in the afternoon. I took some notes, and then I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on the conference. Before I get into that, though, hit that like button and subscribe for future content. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so you should be doing all your own research. Let's talk stocks down in the comment section. First and foremost, up on the screen right now, I have an ebook that was on the Oracle website. It's an 18-page ebook. It's a pretty quick read, simple Google search. But I have up here a key highlight, and I really, to understand the value Pure Storage is going to have, I think you really got to put in perspective what is big data and understand why it's valuable. In a previous video, I had said that Pure Storage, that I had said that view data like a commodity. It's a very undervalued commodity. And I used Facebook and Google as an example, that they're two of the richest companies that we have on this earth, and they give away a free product. And a lot of that is because they sell your data. Not just, obviously ad revenue, comes in and whatnot, but that's how valuable it is. It drives some of these massive companies, and everybody wants some of your data. And the reasons are right here. For customer experience, right? It helps them understand the customers better. But not only that, it also for product developments. And you see here the example they use. Companies like Netflix and Procter & Gamble use big data to anticipate customer demand by classifying key attributes of past and current products and services, and then modeling the relationship between those attributes and the commercial success of the offerings. They build predictive models for new products and services. So, another way that they view data is valuable for predictive maintenance, very fascinating, as well as machine learning, fraud and compliance. So it's a lot of stuff that they can do with this data, but it only can be accomplished if the data is stored in a proper way, right? So that's the kind of the problem that a lot of these companies are having right now is at the speed that they can store the data effectively and manage it and get to what they're looking for. So that's where Pure Storage comes into play. And that's why I think they're so undervalued right now. And because the world we're headed into, I mean, they're the only option really at this point. The competitive market right now, or the market right now, uses like mostly disk, which is Dell and HP. And that's not working. And really interesting too to get into the product Evergreen, which I will make a video about later on, and I wanted to mention it in this video, but I didn't want to do it an injustice because I just couldn't explain it briefly. But Evergreen is a replacement to all these old infrastructures. I know even if you're not into technology like that, and I'm not, I'm just a regular guy, and I'm fascinated by this stuff, but even like I've heard stuff like this, like technology becomes obsolete every 3 years or 5 years, right? So a lot of these businesses go through that where they need completely new infrastructure and completely new data migrations. And it's a pain in the neck and it's difficult. And that's because of the way it's set up. And that's where Pure Storage comes into play. They're going to replace that. They're disrupting that system. And that's why this technology is so incredible and so fascinating. It's literally disrupting the way we're going to do business or make products, even influence the way that people make medicine. We're going to get into that as well. The variety of industries that they can influence and that they can help. and obviously generate revenue from. Ultimately, that's what we're looking for as investors. Also wanted to touch on this very quickly. Cloud and on-premise software comparison. The main difference is when a business is running software like that, it's either they're going to run it on premise, which is through their networks and servers, or they're going to run it, through the cloud, which would be via a web browser. And Pure Storage offers a hybrid, private cloud, only cloud. They offer, their products are strong, and they have a variety of them to meet demands. Whichever way the market goes or whichever way the industries go, their products are set up very nicely. And I wanted to just touch on the industries that they bring value to. Education, electrical design, automation, financial services, to government, to healthcare, to life sciences, to media, to managed service providers. So any of these, any businesses, big or small, I mean, Fortune 100 to mom and pops can use this service. And they're also changing it because over the next couple of years, you're going to start to be able to, it's almost like it's a subscription. It's storage as a service, and that's what's going to be needed. And I think that's where we're going. Screen, I have the some testimonials from customers, and I just wanted to show some of the variety and versatility of the product, and the depth of the products as well, because they have several offerings at this point. You can see here a company like the Boston Globe says, we freed up valuable time that our team previously spent managing other storage devices. I've seen the San Jose Sharks were somewhere in here when I was reading through. Hospitals, banks, I mean, you name it. There's companies in here that are praising. Look, LinkedIn. Neil Pinto, the senior director at data operations, said after deploying Flash and at the data layers, we saw phenomenal response time improvement inquiries. Company like LinkedIn, Toyota. I know Domino's is somewhere in there. Here's another testimonial from SurveyMonkey. It says, thanks to Pure Storage, we now offer more functionality to our users that gives us greater advantages over our competition. Workday is a nice one. We can't afford any bottlenecks impacting our new IT infrastructure, and if any can be one, storage, it is. So, again, just praises. And that kind of segues me right into this right here. In 2020, they were named is the leader in the 2020 Gartner Magic Quadrant. They got a 83.5 NPS, which is a Net Promoter Score. That was the highest Medallia score in any industry, which is very impressive. That's a very impressive metric. I also wanted to discuss a little bit about the investor conference that they just had with Goldman Sachs yesterday. It was very good. It was a 45-minute conference. Company CEO Charlie Giancarlo, very bright guy, very smart. Just witty and smart. Really like him as the CEO. Really knows his product. A couple highlights I wanted to discuss. They discussed the acquisition of Portworx. So they went ahead and acquired Portworx. You could still get the Portworx standalone products or infrastructure still as a standalone, but it helps Pure Storage's broader products from start to finish, especially with containers and development. So that will help companies at a smaller stage or at the start of a project. So you could see that this is a good sign as an investor that they're aiming their products to be start to finish, which was definitely something that I'd like to see. And I was happy that they touched on in the conference. And he really touched on how that would be, no fragmented workloads at all. It would be on-premise, in clouds, and enterprise apps all in one location, all under one umbrella to manage all your data right there. That's the goal. That's the vision. And this is a step towards that. So very exciting. They also talked about some of the growth drivers in Evergreen, which again I mentioned earlier that I'm going to make a in-depth video about this product and how this is going to impact business, science, the way we do. I just think this is amazing. I'm very excited about it, and how it allows non-disruptive upgrades. Again, meaning the infrastructure that we have in place now is essentially useless every couple years, and how Evergreen is like, you buy it once and it will upgrade on its own, and it's basically the only product that you could choose from on the market that could do that could run with the AI applications of today and machine learning applications of today. The other choices just simply aren't fast enough. I talked about some of the other stuff in my other videos, like some of their products, their partnerships, strategic partnerships. They're just set up so nicely. I think this is the perfect time to get in or add, rather. I've been adding, and I could really see either, it's going to take some time for it to grow into this, but the most likely scenario, and this is totally speculative and just my opinion, is I think this company is going to be acquired by one of the giants, and really have an impact on the world. And at $23 a share, we're going to be covering this stock for quite some time now. But, after a few months of really researching and trying to understand it, I really think I see the vision now. And like, I can comfortably say, I feel like this is going to be a $100 stock in a few years. So I will, it will be a long-term investment, and I have conviction. I have belief in this company. If you're still watching, thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's talk stocks down below in the comment section.